Hello everyone, and welcome to Ready City Crit. I am your Dungeon Master, Hana, and joining me today is my usual rigmarole of players. Previously, well, before we get into that, someone fucking introduce themselves. Let's start off with Cuckboy.
With what, sorry?
Cluckboy.
Fuckboy. Who's Fuckboy?
My whole Discord is
Boy,
shit.
boy. I guess it's the guy, the one with the
Probably the one with the
little
chicken
white
on his
cock.
fucking microphone, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Probably
Fuckboy. Fucking hell. Hi, my name is, Billsword, and I play Shadowclaw now. Same body, different mind. Still rogue though. And I'm gonna go up with the person above me, the party warlock.
Oh yeah, that's me. Hi, I'm Adam. I'm playing Gabriella, our party warlock, and the slightly faulty moral compass of the party. And I'll pass the word on to the true face of the party and the most handsome face around.
Weirdly, not the bard. Hi, I'm Rob. I play I play Logan Margaster, human paladin, and just vanity embodied. And pass it over to the disappearing bard, who hopefully is still on audio because we've
Yeah,
lost
she's
video.
still here.
My Discord is fucking shit itself. I can't see.
That's
shit.
fine, so introduce yourself, don't worry about it.
Fine. Hi. Can anyone see me? What's
No,
happening?
no one can see you.
Okay.
A big orange
Hi,
screen.
I'm George. I play as Vele Rosna, the human bard. I have no idea what's happening.
Don't we all? Right, and when we last left off, the party had I feel like a surprising amount happened. I think it was mainly a lot of shopping and downtime and kind of just, surprisingly chill, I think is probably the term I would use.
Yeah, there we go.
Some agreements were decided upon about your current and future alliances. And as you all kind of now are kind of finding, your how you may feel about these decisions, you very much have set yourselves on a path to work alongside the city of Waterdeep. After, I believe you were heavily considering or accepting into Force Grey, but you'd wish to speak to the Open Lord herself. You speak to Lariel Silverhand to kind of get a wider understanding of her opinions and what she wants to do. Especially Gabriella had a lot of interest in her kind of goals and what jobs may be required of you all. So a meeting was organized on behalf by the Blackstaff on your behalf with Lariel herself, and you were invited for a lovely dinner down in the Castle Waterdeep, which overlooks the whole city from its high hilltop, from kind of like the Mount Waterdeep that it's on, as it kind of like looms above, kind of looking over everything. And yeah, you kind of approach Castle Waterdeep in a little carriage that was sent for you. Is there anything you guys like to discuss while you're kind of like on the way, or?
I'm good if it's my way there.
Yeah, I think I'm probably keeping quite quiet, eyeing up Shadowclaw.
Oh yeah, we got Shadowclaw now.
We have a Shadowclaw now.
Yeah,
Damn.
same body,
The
different
new
person.
new but not new guy.
different
New
different
but
morals
new.
until he forgets and still tries to be a shitty
Yeah.
well-ended.
The financially efficient Sullivan.
There's like a purse coin just laying there.
Shadowclaw has different morals. Vilsort has the same.
Yep. Oh, take a carriage there, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Yes, the carriage was actually sent to you.
Fancy.
very fancy one, yeah.
And it actually winds its way up the kind of like switchback path, but like zigzags its way up to the castle itself, which is kind of like flanked by this outer wall, allowing you access into Castle Waterdeep proper. And as you arrive, you kind of get a good look as you're kind of like brought through this large portcullis. It's a main gate, like looming above you, which is closed behind you. And as you like step inside, well, not inside, say like as you kind of look around, you see the walls here are thick. They are like nearly like 60-meter thick walls. So they are
wow.
big. Like this is a very, very defensible location. And you see towers kind of like guarding the like path that winds up to the regular intervals as you make your way up. And yeah, I mean, like the castle, it's big. I mean, some of you, all of you, have been at least in the proximity of areas of the castle before, apart from maybe Esvele, unless she's been on some certain outings. But yeah, it's like 5 p.m. The sun has just kind of begun to hang low in the sky, and the little continual light spells that light up around the castle are beginning to glow and give a bit of warmth to the place. As you're kind of looking around, yeah, I mean it's definitely some establishment. You kind of see in the main walls itself, there's this big courtyard and training area initially, and then the kind of like main castle like structure and building kind of like falls on the north, like on the western kind of side. There's this big grand staircase leading up to these big huge doors, and then this like jutting out from the towers and walls itself kind of snakes way around to the left, leaving some open gardens and courtyard area to the front and to the right as you kind of come in.
Cool.
Carriage kind of winds to a stop.
Alright, let's just keep our manners up to par.
I mean, I always keep my manners. Like, what are you insinuating?
Sorry, it's just trick of habit. I'm not used to having Shadow Claw with us. Sorry, yeah.
Don't worry, my friend.
Shit,
I'm gonna behave myself
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
as much as I can.
Let's head out.
Behave yourself by what standard? Like, how high is the bar? Are you going
Higher
to steal
than-
something?
Well, no.
Are you sure? Say that one more time. It's slightly more convincingly. I beg you.
If you're going to steal
No.
something, just be subtle about it.
Don't fucking encourage him.
I'd say if it doesn't need to be stolen, then I won't steal it.
It doesn't need
Maybe.
to be. Very well. That
Okay,
will
right.
suffice.
Who's going to do the talking when we get in there? Because if you don't, you know I will.
I have questions, but if you wish to take the lead on other matters, feel free to.
I have no idea what I'm going to say. I'm going to wing it, and that usually ends up well. So, if you want to lead with your questions, then I'll just,
I'll just.
a little sprinkle.
Let's just remember this time that if we're going to talk about someone, let's not do it in front of them, because last time that happened, we had to kill a wizard.
But we killed him successfully.
Some of us.
Didn't he kill himself? I remember.
In theory, we forced.
Okay.
Now, but I think I'll keep my questions when we meet the Blackstaff themselves, and it's not polite to start off a dinner with questions. So let's just enjoy the atmosphere, have a drink, and let the situation evolve as it continues to.
Oh, good.
I'll just not make it involve in something unpleasant, let's say.
I'm sure it will be fine.
So, it's been a little while. Can you just remind me who we meet in the castle?
You are meeting
Lord of
the
Waterdeep.
Open Lord of Waterdeep, Lariel Silverhand.
Oh, okay.
Big
Been like an
chair.
hour. Do you
It
think
was
our
a meeting
kebab
that
is
got
coming?
arranged. It was a meeting that got arranged by Blackstaff.
Yeah, you guys
After
basically had requested that you'd like to speak to her, so I think the meeting was kind of arranged at your behest. Because you
Okay.
were curious about what jobs may be tasked of you in the future and kind of what morals that she held, and you wanted to, I think you want to see how Force Grey kind of aligned to yourselves, you know.
Yep.
Basically, that's what I gathered. Maybe
Make
I'm
sure we're
wrong.
not
Yeah.
doing
Also,
bad
the
shit.
castle, the matter of the Castellanters was.
Yeah, there was also you want to talk about the Castellanters, which is the final eye, which can you decide how you wish to go about it, if you do. But yeah, the carriage like winds to a stop. You see one of the a servant kind of comes forward and opens up the door and kind of like gestures for you all to step out into the courtyard.
Yeah, Gabriel will do so.
Yep, step out, straighten my clothes.
Yeah, I'll
That's
step out as well. Just
Yeah, they kind of give like a little small nod and bow, and it's this like human, like man. He's like very polite. He's like, "Hello there. Yes, welcome all to Castle Waterdeep. If you'd like to follow me, please, you'll be dining in the Great Hall." And
Thank you.
they turn and move at a slow and steady enough pace to allow you to easily follow them, not quite having to rush around after them and such. You're kind of like led up these stairs to this grand like entryway, and you see this like big as you kind of open it up, this big grand space like immediately before you, kind of like a big lobby area. You see a big rising staircase on the left and right that kind of like kind of bends away from itself, very much like the Titanic kind of like big ballroom style. You are led down a corridor to the left a short ways, not overly far, and you eventually find yourself in a very grand like chamber. It's got this big high vaulted ceiling, chandeliers, a big fireplace roaring in the corner despite the kind of like early spring day, evening even. A huge long table set out before you with chairs along it, and it is set for 7. So you can see it all there. White tablecloth, nice runner in the colours of Waterdeep, kind of like down the middle. Big banners with the symbol of Waterdeep as well, kind of like hanging prominently on display. There's no throne or anything like that. The chairs just appear to be pretty standard, but there is only one chair at the head of the table. And you're kind of led in, and gestures like, "Please make yourselves comfortable. Would you like any refreshments, drinks to start you off?"
If I could get some wine, that would be spectacular.
Of course, certainly. Red, white, rosé, sparkling?
Some red, if you would.
Red, of course, certainly. We have quite a selection. Do you have any preference at all?
Surprise me.
Of course, certainly.
I'll be.
Well, I would like the glass of your most expensive wine. Whatever the most expensive is, I'll have that, please.
I don't think it costs anything. It's
Well,
fine.
whatever they pay the most, I will have that.
Certainly. Would you perhaps? I always say, from my personal opinion, would you like the best wine or would you like the most expensive wine?
He won't know the difference.
I'll take the best.
I'll take the best.
Certainly. And you have no preference on red, white, rosé, sparkling?
Red, please.
Red, of course, certainly.
Surprise me.
Certainly, ma'am.
I'll take some wine too. Some of the pink stuff. Make it the fruitiest you have.
Of course, I have a lovely Zinfandel from California.
I don't know that language, but I like the sound of it.
Are those the Far Elvish villages?
So
California.
this servant goes off. He comes back with a fine tray with like some lovely crystal cut glasses on it. You're all given time to stand if you want to just rather stand and mingle, or you can sit down yourselves. It's really up to yourselves. There are like benches along the side, or like little small tables and things like that. There's a fire that you can sit at and kind of find yourselves. But he will eventually come to each in turn and give you each a glass of wine. Sullivan, you and Gabriella appear to be both have been given the same, like a very nice deep red wine. It's got a really nice kind of like heavy like olive aroma to it. It's very like strong, like kind of similar to like on a fine Malbec. Then Isvella, you are given a champagne saucer filled with a lovely, nice golden liquid, which has a light effervescence to it. Kind of like has the familiarity of champagne. And for Logan, what can only be described as Echo Falls in a glass is brought to him. And yeah, it's a very nice, fruity, delicious wine, very easy to drink, and a beautiful, lovely color as well to it, which is quite eye-catching. And yeah, and in the beautiful, crystal cut glass as well. Like, it still looks the part. It doesn't look like it's any worse than anyone else's. And yeah, you guys have a little bit of time in the room if you need to, talk amongst yourselves. The gentleman, the kind of assisting, kind of like stays on hand for any needs that you require, and a few little small entrees are kind of like brought out as well, like small little canapé, like nibbles and things like that, just for yourselves. Just well, you assume that your host will eventually be joining you shortly.
I think the
Oh,
dog.
this wine is very good indeed. What kind is it, if I may ask?
That, my good sir, it's from the elvish lands to the far east of here, of Corinth, from their fine vineyards.
Wonderful.
This, I believe, is a Giuliano grape. It is from 14, I believe, 84. Not terribly far aged, but still, it was a good year. The weather was very kind.
Yes, it tastes wonderful indeed. Thank you.
How many plates are set on the table?
There
How
are
many spaces
7
are set?
settings.
7. So we've got 3. Okay.
It appears that there'll be more joining us tonight, if I count correctly. 4 of
Indeed,
us.
yes. Our Lady Lariel is being joined by your guidance, your ward, as it were. The Blackstaff Vajra will be joining us.
No.
And as always, we finally set a final extra place, just in case anyone else chooses to be in, or the open lord chooses to have anyone else in joining us. But no one is planned this time. It will only be the 6 of you, as far as I'm aware.
Is it normal to set an extra place, just in case?
Sometimes the open lord can have last-minute changes to her schedule, which we do need to be prepared.
Can I try and get a read on this guy to see if he's given us everything that we...
Yeah, I would also like to do an insight check.
Go for it.
Ooh, maybe.
11.
26.
Oh wow.
Gabriella, he is definitely giving you a what you need to know kind of level. But he does appear to be genuine. It sounds like there's no one else planned to join you. But whether or not that
you never
remains the
know.
case may change. And Logan, you would kind of pick up kind of similar like vibes. Like he's not, actively lying to you. Like there's a place set for someone else. It's obvious there's a set in there. Like that's the reason he's given. Whether or not you believe him is whether or not like it's weird that you're probably like, my help would never set for anyone. If someone arrived, they would just make up an extra place.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a problem. So maybe that's more the suspicious kind of thing from your point of view.
How big is the room that we're in at the moment?
It's huge.
Roughly.
It's like best way to describe it, it's like the Harry Potter, like the Great Hall, like
Oh,
there.
wow.
Like,
That's huge.
yeah, big space.
And it's just
Big
like
castle,
one table,
huge
7
castle.
chairs.
Yeah, and in the middle, it's this really long banqueting table, but like all the settings are kind of pushed up to the far end from the door, and they're not like as close as a familial setting would be, but I would say that the chairs in the middle are a lot closer, and then there's one slightly further back, which is the one at the head of the table.
I'd like to sort of just wander over towards the head of the table, and then use a divine sense for celestial fiend undead within 60 feet, not behind total cover.
Perfect, yeah, you plunge it out into the room. The only really people in the room at the moment are yourselves and the actual help, who are kind of milling around. The only trigger you kind of get again is a little bit from Shadowclaw, that slight taint of undead kind of about him.
Yeah.
Also, I would have left the hen. I mean, would the hen have come with me? The undead hen?
You could have chosen to leave it behind if you'd like.
I think I'll leave it for now.
Sure.
I think I would have left. Should I? Yeah, I think I would have. No, do you know what? I think you'd have actually taken the hen with him.
Sure. Yeah, you just put it
To
in your
let
bag,
him-
or
Yeah. Just kind of lives behind my back or something. So. Yeah. So probably would.
Just
I mean,
a severed hand.
yeah.
Where did
When you use divine sense, does that pinpoint exactly where it's coming from, Rob, or just
I'd know the location of...
Oh, okay.
yeah. So he would
Okay,
also
so-
detect the hand, but it's in total cover if it's in a bag, so he wouldn't probably.
Yeah,
You're probably
I'd know
like
the location of it.
yeah, you're probably like hanging behind my my bag or behind my cloak or something.
Yeah, like tucked away out of sight.
In that case, it's probably behind total cover then.
Yeah,
For
but-
something that's
Yeah,
small.
yeah.
So I probably wouldn't pick it up other than your general spoopy vibe.
He kind of always has a little bit of undeath about him, yeah. So it's just it might even
So-
kind of blend
slightly.
into that anyway,
Because some flash kind of flashes and then comes and goes.
But yeah, you all you're not waiting long, maybe 5 or 10 minutes or so, before eventually the doors are opened. and you hear someone announce the arrival, and they say, "Please welcome the Open Lord, Lariel Silverhand." There's no big fanfare or anything like that, but you see stepping in a tall woman, human. She has like almost, it looks like her eyes like twinkle like gold in a sense. She's got long silver hair, which is like done up in these beautiful braids that kind of wrap around her head, and a lovely flowing white and gold robe with red sleeves and a kind of like red like few highlights across it. As she kind of like steps into the room, she has like a nice smile on her face, very courteous, polite, and she gives you a little polite nod as she kind of steps inside. She waves over to one of the individuals, and you see they present her a similar glass to what Esveli is drinking, and she takes it and has a small like raise a little cheers to you all. It's like, so lovely to finally make all of your acquaintances.
Likewise. And she'd give a small bow. Or like, the polite one. Nothing too dramatic.
Yeah.
Can just raise my glass a little bit. Nod.
Give the respectful kind of bow that all the nobility do, where not too much deference, but enough.
Must admit she's really good looking, right? Is she good looking? Is she like an older woman?
You know.
She is
How old is she?
You got a one-track mind.
She is definitely quite the looker, I would say. How old she is, that's a really question for Sullivan to, if you want to ask woman her age, by all means. She doesn't look old, but she doesn't look, super young either. She probably looks kind of like.
Is Logan like next to me,
age.
or where's Logan sitting?
I'm probably near. We're probably kind of gathered in a loose group. There's no point scattering, is there?
Okay. Okay. So I was gonna make a comment, but since like I kind of just be able to give Logan a look at her. It's like, that little lad look. Yeah, she'll get it.
Logan, do you want to, or maybe Gabriella and Isveli as well, because you're all local, do you want to make a history check to see what you know about Lariel, or?
Sure.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing her name wrong. Her name is Leiral.
Nat 20.
L'Oreal. Oh,
First
fucking
Nat 20 in
hell.
chuffing ages, and it's on a fucking intelligence check.
19.
Wow.
Okay, so Esveli and Logan, you kind of know much the same. Gabriella, you know that Leiral, she's quite a powerful mage. She was born in Waterdeep, as far as you're aware, and kind of like, calls it her home. She holds many titles. She's referred to as the Witch Queen of the North. And she's had a lot of, she's had quite a surprising history about her, I think it's fair to say. I think probably quite long-winded, is probably fair to say. Esveli and Logan, you would know that Leiral is a very powerful mage. She was born nearly 700 years ago, and yet she still is a human, as far as you're aware.
As far as we're aware.
But as you know, she would have been allied with the Blackstaff, probably not the original Blackstaff, but definitely some of the one of the ones who held the Blackstaff prior to the current bearer would have been her accomplice. Maybe I think they were actually openly married. So you would have known that she has ties to Waterdeep, that kind of go like that, and that's in the last kind of he only passed away maybe a little over 100 years ago, but he also, like her, had been around for a very long time.
Would I know if she is known to have like good intentions with people, like in general? Like, do people see her as a good
As a benevolent ruler?
You mean it's a check if you like. And Logan, you would know that the individual who was once her husband was the original creator of the Blackstaff.
Cool.
Damn.
She has a very nice charm about her. Sullivan, I say that you pick up. Based on what you can see and tell from her, she wears light colors. She doesn't look very, she doesn't like openly display herself as anything evil looking. You don't see any cobwebs in the design or, dark purples or anything like you would even summarize as that. Yeah,
So first impressions, I kind of have a good vibe about her,
yes.
more or less. Okay.
I mean, I think it's probably fair to say that with the very high natural 20 that Logan acquired, Logan, you would actually know that she is... that's my food has arrived. But she is a chosen of Mithra. I'll be right back.
Kebab.
And because the DM's away, I'm going to assume that Logan knows what the fuck that is.
It's like Gale in Waterdeep. Well, he was more of a simp of Mistral.
But without all of the, eating inedible stuff.
I showed you my weave, please respond.
We don't know it's without
I
eating all
them.
the inedible stuff. We have no proof.
I mean, there's no proof he was eating them, but they definitely went in him.
The
I
most cunning
love
magic
that,
I
like,
can
it's
see.
just, he's like, I absorb the weave, and everyone's like, Gaily, choose.
I mean, he does eat shoes.
Confirmed. Choose.
Mother.
The reviews on this place were differing between best kebab I've ever had and worst kebab I've ever had in my life. So
Let's find out.
There's gonna be a coin flip.
might be exciting or disappointing.
Live stream to the internet.
Live to the
Watch
internet.
For the,
Do it
watch for the
live,
faces of disappointment. Although, to keep Thanos happy, what if one of you absolutely loves it, one of you absolutely hates it? Imagine that. They
Exactly.
get another 1-star and another 5-star review.
I guess Sylvie is the one who decides.
I may have yours.
Sauce looks like.
Kind of makes me want to have a kebab now. I might order
Go
one after
quickly
this.
buy one. We have one right underneath.
I might order one after the stream. What did you get?
A kebab.
They were like lamb.
We just got chicken.
Shish.
Chicken pittas. Got house sauce. She got garlic sauce.
Alright.
I'm going to put my camera down because this is not going to be pretty.
Pussy. Okay. So Lariel Silverhand orders a kebab. She knows she likes what she knows. And knows what she likes.
I mean, we are kind of having dinner in here, so
Yeah,
might as well
exactly.
just make it real.
But yeah, she'll gesture for you all
So-
like, please, if you'd like
We
to
all having
see-"
kebabs.
Yeah, kebabs. The Waterdeep's national
Known
dish,
for
the kebab. It's canon now.
yeah, it is.
But yeah, you all are like, she like gets you all to sit, get yourselves comfortable, like sit down, and yeah, like she kind of gives a warm smile. It's like, such a pleasure to finally make the acquaintance of those who are able to best such a powerful thorn in my past, or at least one of it.
Well, hopefully it was the original. But I guess only time will tell.
I mean, with all the stuff he did, I'd be surprised if that wasn't the original. We killed one and it turned to snow. And this one, I don't know what happened because I died.
Yeah, no, this one tried to use his staff to get away, but blew up in the process.
Yes, Bajra,
Pretty hoping.
give me a little rundown of what happened. I'm glad to see all of you are back up on your feet. It is quite the ordeal, death. That's one we can overcome.
With a headache, but I suppose it's only a minor thing in the grand scheme of things.
It will pass. In time. But please, I believe you had some questions for me, and you kind of sit down, and this kind of all happens over food, many courses are brought out. It starts off with breads and soups, and goes on to more starters, and there's a nice selection as well. So if any of you didn't it's not like a medieval banquet. It's more like, they probably ask if you'd like a vegetarian dish, like, pork or meat or chicken or
Kebab.
beef. Kebab. Doner.
I was wondering, because one of the eyes that is left is that of the Castellantes with whom we had a prior agreement. I'm not sure if Vajra gave you a brief on the Castellantes, or if she let that up to us.
She mentioned that they may be involved, but
Well, the long and the short of it is that the reason the Castellantes are seeking the Great Game is due to their children being cursed by some demonic or devilish pact of sorts, and by their research, a large amount of gold is required to lift this curse. That would be the end of their children if they do not manage to do so.
terrible shame. We could always look into such a thing. I don't know how much gold they would require, but not exactly like the city's coffers are unlimited.
They would require a large sum. I believe they said almost the entirety of the Great Game that's at stake. Sorry. So a large sum indeed, but perhaps if you would manage to get some city mages to do some research and help them, maybe they could figure out a more definite root cause and a better solution. Or even verify their story.
What do you know exactly about the Castellantes? Do you know anything about them?
Oh yeah, we had a long talk with them back.
But that's what they say. I mean,
They're a very wealthy family, the
Miss
Castellantes.
Lario knows.
I'm just saying that I would hate to break a prior agreement, especially when it concerns the potential livelihoods of innocent children, so I'm saying I would prefer if there was some compromise solution to this dilemma.
Indeed. In the past, there have been issues with the Castellantes. They used to be very, very wealthy. I'm not sure how wealthy they are, but I know that Timora's luck had spiraled out of control a little over 100 years ago, which caused the Silvermane family to struggle greatly. Every gambler picked every winning horse and things of that such. The Castellantes bailed them out. I believe it was 10 million golden lions, I believe, were bailed to bail them out, which then would be
10
paid
million.
back. Yes, it was quite the sum. And shortly after,
Wow.
one of the family's past ancestors rose up from their old crypt, which is in Undermountain, I believe. A hero managed to find a necromancer had been behind the infestation. He was rewarded handsomely for such. But I haven't heard much of them since, to be honest. I don't know where their financial standing is, but when I was last overly aware of them, they were doing quite well. So it'd be strange that they would feel the sudden need for such wealth, that they should already have it.
What understood the main issue they're running into is that their values, I'm not sure honestly. I think their value was tied when we talked more in estates and not actual physical gold needed for the ritual. But that's why I'm asking, perhaps if you manage to get some specialist in this, I'm sure there's somebody within the city to examine, to verify their story. If it's true, then we can act further upon it, and if it's false, we can just take the eye and leave them.
Of course, I'm happy to assist the citizens of Waterdeep where we can if they have been cursed. What is strange to me is what was the reasoning behind it? They said they had some issue with devil, or
They were not too specific. They said out of character. I'm not honestly sure if there was a demonic or devil-based or demonic. I know they mentioned it, but some kind of curse befell their children when they were born, I believe, fating them to an early grave. Perhaps
seems-
a prior pact.
it must be demonic then, if that is true, because devils are notoriously strict to their word.
maybe they just didn't want to share the details, but in theory, or what my theory was at the time, was that perhaps they traded the potential livelihood of their children for potential wealth, and now they're trying to back out of the bargain.
So almost like taking a loan against the
Yes,
with the children as
it's just a
collateral.
theory. I'm not an expert on devils and demons, but when you consider the significant financial gain and luck that the Castellaners exhibited in the past,
Perhaps. Their family have no ties to devils or anything, to my knowledge.
well,
Unlike
as I said, it's
some other families among us.
yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Right, they must have
Well, you
some
know,
ties to devils for for this to be happening to the children, if that is even true. Because I don't know,
Yes.
personally, I think there's something not quite right in their story.
Yes, I would suggest we investigate further or find somebody who has the knowledge too. As I was saying, this is more a matter of principle. If they lie to us, or if they do not need the money actually, I do not really care what befalls them, but a deal is a deal. So,
I don't believe that the children should suffer the choices and deeds of their parents.
Yes.
If what your theory is true or not. But I would like to see them helped one way or another.
thank you.
We will maybe take it upon yourselves. Do your own due diligence. You don't sound sure yourself. Consider it your first task if you wish to ally yourself of Foursquare, to find out if the Castellanter's story merits honesty, and if it merits aid, or if it is just some other scheme they're screwing up and playing on heartstrings and things of the such.
Very well, thank you. And another question of curiosity, now that we are aligning ourselves with Foursquare, what kind of duties are we to expect? This is an example, but in the future perhaps. How is it with us, for instance, leaving the city for travels? Are there, time periods where we have to be stationed in the city, stuff like that?
There is nothing set in stone. Foursquare, again, is not a it is not a traditional job. It is, Badger probably would be able to explain it better, but I always view it as a bit of freelance work. You would ally yourself at Foursquare, and there is an expectation that if you were called upon, you would answer. But you'd be well rewarded for your actions, and if you couldn't attend or were off doing your own adventuring and things like that, of course you wouldn't be receiving any stipend from the city of Waterdeep. But normally we try not to use Foursquare unless there is severe troubles in the time that require such a different approach.
And how would we typically be contacted if we were needed, or possibly needed? Would we get the words in the brain thing that we can reply to?
Yes, Vajra, I imagine has sent a sending to before. She'd like me to do the same. She may even reach out to you and teleport you back or come get you if the situation was urgent.
Right?
Are there any, I suppose, formal underlying tenets, values of Foursquare that we should be aware of so that we can adhere to them?
And act within their interests, at least,
Because I have, as a paladin, I have tenets of my own, convictions of sorts, and I just want to make sure that they can be appropriately reconciled.
Of course. Foursquare are, think of them as the elite. They are employed directly by the government of the city of Waterdeep, and they are normally sent out to deal with threats to the city that the guard and the watch could not handle without risking significant loss of life. They are elite to that level.
Like a
We
SWAT
would
squad.
only call upon them to make sure that they were capable of dealing with the threat. We would call upon those who'd be the most strong. Generally, when you're not on a mission, you would be expected to enforce the law and order on behalf of the Lords of Waterdeep. But like I say, it's not like you're expected to patrol the city for threats or stand guard, but just to react, as I've said before. As long as you're available.
No turning a blind eye to crime that we witness with our own eyes.
Of course, you would do your best to aid and protect the denizens of Waterdeep where you could, across the board. You would be seen as examples, positive examples. There are several members who you probably have, seen around the city as well. Balloon War Dragon is one. Comes to mind.
Yeah.
I was going to ask who else is in Foursquare. Who are our new compatriots?
We try to keep the membership a little bit under wraps, but Bert, a good friend of mine, helped me re-establish it. Foursquare had been disassembled for nearly 100 years before this.
Why so?
The Year of Wild Magic, I believe it was. Most of Foursquare were assembled in response to a cataclysmic event, and unfortunately, those that did survive had no. A lot of the higher ups were lost.
Oh.
And were they not able to be brought back? As we were. Well, a couple of us.
It was a quite a large event. It was a lot of them were beyond reconciliation. Again, this is something that has not happened in thousands of years, as far as I'm aware. It is once in a lifetime, once in several lifetimes.
It's interesting to measure something in a lifetime with such variation in the city.
Indeed. Well, normally standard human lifetime, I would. I have been fortunate to see a couple.
Normal, yes.
Also, out of curiosity, due to our, membership in Foursquare, I believe we have some exempts from the law or some protections. Is there any way we can prove to guards that we are actually part of Foursquare when we are, for instance, doing activities that would, under regular circumstances, be considered?
Oh, yes. Do we have a badge or like a little pin, little FG pin?
Yes, you'll be given a form of identification. If you'd like a badge, we could certainly have one done up for you. But normally the standard is we would keep not normally one you would wear openly, more one you would keep concealed and then reveal when required.
Yes, that would be
sneaky
appreciated.
Okay.
Normally even some papers or a writ
badge
would also suffice. Just signed off by myself and Valshra would be normally sufficient.
Yes, I was just curious. Thank you.
And again,
I assume there would be consequences of abusing such a power.
Oh,
Is
most
that right?
definitely. Those would be anytime they are presented. The member of the watch or the city guard on duty would record the instance, what had happened, and the warrant given and waived, just so we could keep track of whom was doing what, and to make sure it hadn't fallen in the wrong hands or they'd been falsified, things of that nature.
Absolutely. It's good for us to know. Some of us, Shad over there has very keen eyes. He sees things like this happening all the time in his vicinity, and it's good to know what to look out for and what would happen.
Indeed.
Also, what types of resources can you provide us to aid us in our missions?
I believe we're separate, but feel free to correct me.
They are, you are fully funded by the Waterdavian Treasury and supplied by the Watchful Order of Mages and Protectors. So, depending on the tasking that you've been given for your latest mission, we could source you any magic item that you required for short order. That would expect to be returned or aided. Same with weapons, armor, things of that nature. But anything you wish to keep, or for just personal nature, armaments or custom items, things like that, you would obviously have to pay for and source yourself. We're more than happy to assist you where we can, but we can't afford to have it, wander off outside the city on all your other adventures and things like that. And if you did choose to remain in the city for the long term, if you were available in the city and didn't leave it, and were always close at hand just for not even a direct action, but if you could at least be present for 30 hours a week, we would pay each of you 100 gold pieces a month, just as a stipend to retain you here close by and save us having to go looking for you and things of that nature.
Oh, of course.
It would be semi-expected that you would be free to follow your own goals and things of that nature, but it would be expected that you would be at least ready to drop most things to aid us in that case.
Sounds perfectly fine.
Not a bad offer.
Do we get any kind of, reviews, performance feedback? Any, good job you, or, needs improvement?
If you believe you need feedback, we can certainly arrange it. Normally, Force Grey act in ways that I find the Lords of Waterdeep aren't overly fond of. The damage to the city usually, when Force Grey are deployed, is quite significant. But fortunately, Force Grey and the Grey Hands are insured to some level by the Treasury. Damage done to private property was never overly a concern of the individual members. More the things the city would then have to pick up later on. Again, this is what I mean by Force Grey are normally only deployed when it is a last resort.
And are there any individuals or groups within the city who would see Force Grey as particularly adversarial? I've been reading my thesaurus, Gabriella. And, who hates us?
I would imagine most lowlifes, Zentarim, Xanathar, people of that nature. Anyone who likes to break the law or has plans for world domination of Faerun and things of that nature.
Something those scumbags. Also, just a quick one. Just going back to the Castellanta scenario.
Yes.
You did mention that. Obviously, we're not sure what the involvement are with devil worship cults or anything like that. But you did say that some families in Waterdeep are known to be associated with devils and demons. Is there any particular family that perhaps we could go in and speak with that could potentially give us some information about the Castellantes?
Yes.
Maybe a family that doesn't really particularly like them, that would be willing to
I
give
can't
us information.
speak for their personal choices, but two of them are in this very room.
Okay. Wait, it's only you and Blackstaff and us.
I guess it'll remain a mystery.
What a mystery. Who could possibly...
I'll look at Logan. I mean, Logan is a noble. Logan, is your family has association with the devil?
What? Sorry, what was that?
Does your family pray for demons?
Pray for demons? I don't think so.
I mean...
Like, specifically that question, no.
Okay. Does your family got any involvement with devils and demons?
Listen, this is a rather unbecoming topic for a polite dinner, don't you think?
Do you think you could speak to maybe your parents or your family, see if you can get some information about the Castellantes? I'm sure they would know something about them.
I'm sure they would. Whether or not they were involved with, making phylacteries and demon things and all sorts. Just off the top of my beret.
Well, look, I'm not judging him, mate. I'm just trying to figure out.
I should hope not, with that stench around you.
Nah, don't worry. I'm the least person who's going to be judging him, friend. Also, I look at Gabriella and Sveli. Do you know anyone that could perhaps assist us?
I know a person.
Your family?
Yes, I do know a person who has had past experiences with demons and devils. Though I think it will be best to be that to be discussed back at the tavern over more stiff drink. But I'll be.
I don't know. This Zinfandel from California is actually rather nice. It's pretty. I've had stiffer, sure.
But squid my eye to
drink. Honestly, taste it. It's pink, but you're man enough for that, surely.
Out of curiosity, if I may ask, she looked at Open Lawrence. I would be interested in, well, if we were able to do research into demons and devils, I would be reminiscent to look into some more interesting tomes than those that are available in the Waterdeep Library. Is there any archives that Forest Grey could, or that we could gain access to, that would have more heretical, perhaps, texts?
The Watchful Order would have some in their regard. It would just depend what exactly we're looking for.
Well, if we were going to do general research, I guess anything they can give us.
I'm sure Vajra can help you make an
Very well.
acquaintance there and put you on the right track.
Thank you.
Vajra gives a small nod. She continues scranning her kebab.
Garlic sauce was a mistake. Everything tastes of garlic.
Garlic sauce is good.
Too much garlic sauce.
Not a thing. You cannot have too much garlic sauce.
My man.
Anyway, I go back to Lariel. Can't say anything. And then I was like, okay, let's say the family of my companions here, they won't be of much assistance. Is there any other families perhaps you can contact?
Families with ties to devils.
Devil worshipping. Or maybe someone that's part of cults that would know this information. Or someone that used to be part of a cult and be willing to help us.
Okay, fine, I'll talk to my family. Okay, you don't need to be putting this fucking pressure on me. Honestly, you get born into the wrong fucking family and then... Anyway, honestly, it's so difficult being a noble.
The only ones who I would be aware of would be Margastus had a
Fucking knew it!
run-in.
Listen, I already said, it's fine.
About 4 years ago, I believe it all kind of came out. I believe most of it, as far as I'm aware, has been resolved. It happened outside the city as well. It was not close by, a bit to the north here. And there are rumors that another young noblewoman who went missing had some ties. But I believe she is still yet to be found.
What's this lady's name?
Well, she was the sister of the young Isvele here, and she gestures to.
Okay.
Isvele aggressively looking at everyone but Gabriella.
Gabriel's just sitting there, takes a sip of wine, chilling,
So it was very mysteriously disappearing. I mean, obviously, I'm out of character. Do I know that Gabriella is very
so. Do they? I think they do.
Have you mentioned it before? I don't have you? I don't think you have.
You hide it quite well, Gabrielle. You always wearing your stuff. You've seen her hand before, maybe?
No. He's asking us a bit. Wait, are you asking about being sisters or about the?
Yeah. If Gabriella has already told us that they're sisters.
I think so.
I think you have referred to each other as sisters before.
Yeah, I'm almost certain.
But, I mean, whether or not Sullivan or Shadowclaw is yes, the same way me and Logan might refer to each other as brothers is a term of endearment.
Yeah, okay. So I'll say I don't know then. Oh, I don't know.
I mean, you can make an insight check if you want.
Yeah, but make an insight check. It's not
See,
that
now if you kind of outed to you, maybe you're the conclusion being drawn in your head.
11.
There's a little bit of resemblance, maybe, but
Can look both of them.
they don't have the same surname. Gabriella's surname is Duran, and Isvele's surname is Rosnar. So.
Rosnar. Isvele, how about your family, Rosnar? The Rosnar family. Do you think they can give any assistance? Would they know anything about Gassalanders? I mean, they used to be pretty powerful before.
Yes, perhaps. But I'm sort of incognito right now. If they find out I'm running around with you lot, it'll start more questions and...
I understand.
Incognito, is that where you have to wear the absorbent underwear? I've been reading a thesaurus, not a dictionary. I don't know what one's the. Oh no, you're drunk. No, that's intoxi. What's it? Ignore me. It's fine.
You'll get there.
Takes another big gulp of Zinfandel.
Yeah. Server comes over and top up all the wines.
Be careful, my man. I can't keep track of what I've drunk. If you keep doing
Logan,
that, keep going.
It's just steady pace, alright? Slow and steady.
I think Logan's getting a bit too much wine.
Well, regardless, we can discuss anyone we might know with devilish or demonic connections back at the tavern.
Okay.
Indeed.
No
Agreed.
point quibbling over names here.
You don't need to make plans for myself. I believe I'm just here to help answer some questions, hopefully shed some light on things.
And if we need to pass messages, information to yourself, what's the best way to do that? Via someone?
An excellent point. Move someone over.
Thank you.
They come back with a small little box, a little square box about that big.
Paper.
He opens it, checks it, closes it, and then puts it on the table in front of you. And inside there are 10 leaves of very fine vellum paper.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
these are paper birds. Simply write whatever message you wish to convey, speak the name of who you wish to send them to, and they will fold themselves up and fly there. And no one else will be able to interpret the message. It will be unreadable to them. Very secure way of communication.
And we do that directly to yourselves, or do you have like a member of your staff who...
Directly to myself
Good.
or to Vajra would be recommended.
Understood.
Not that I don't
Can
trust
you-
my staff, but it's somebody best to convey the message privately.
Can you reuse these papers, or once you use it, it's done?
Well, once they are used, they will be with the person you sent it to, and then they are no longer magical. But if you require more, I'm sure we can source them. They are not the most complex of the chat.
Are you
Okay.
aware of our address, perhaps, so that you know where to send any
All
such?
familiar in the North.
Yes, wonderful.
The carriage was sent for us, so I would assume so.
But usually the lords are not the ones who send the carriages.
I like to
Well-
know what happens in my city.
That's fair. I was just in case.
I was wondering, you spend a lot of time looking after the city from within and the threats that are posed from within. Are there any areas of concern outside the city? You know, bad actors, if you like, trying to encroach within, or from without, from outside, from not Waterdeep.
There is definitely a slight worry on the horizon. There is the word of something stirring up in Neverwinter, which does give me some cause of worry, but nothing I think we'll see anything for the next couple of years.
Very well. We will not worry ourselves about that. Just curious. Anything from Mirabar? Anything strange presenting a threat to Waterdeep from up there?
As far as Mirabar, yes, I suppose Neverwinter would be the closest place to that I've really have got something aware of. There is a talk that Lord Neverember may be shifting his focus, but again, this is kind of things that I think are long in the works. We're still waiting to see what exactly he has in mind.
Understood. I think.
Yeah, you finish your
Wine and
food.
dine.
You have your finest more time if you want to keep a conversation or asking questions, things like that. And yeah, I'll be your best to answer.
Last question I have. In regards to any magic items we need, what sort of items would you be able to get? Can you get any specific magic items we may require? Or you just general stuff?
The more common item, the easier it is for us to source. And again, it would only be given out for the brief extent of your mission. What have you been contracted on? If there's something you believe that you would need to complete the mission, you would simply just request it. Through Vajra will be normally the most appropriate way, and she can, on your behalf, contact the Order of the Watchful Mages and see what she can rustle up.
Right. And how long would it usually take to get this item? Would it be something that can be accessed straight away, or would it have to wait?
Again, it depends what it is. If it's something that requires an enchantment to make, it could take some time. But if it's something that we have on hand, this is why we don't give them up permanently, because there may be something in the vault that has been commissioned previously that we have use for again, and then we have it on hand. If we gave it to you to keep, say, then we needed it, and you were elsewhere, it would be very difficult to get a hold of if we needed it urgently.
So I would imagine it's a very limited amount as well. So makes sense. Oh, I think that's all the questions I've had. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my dinner. So
Like-
dig in.
Gabriel will keep up the small talk, of course, but she has no questions.
I'll kind of like halfway through dinner after conversation. I'll like, so, Miss Lario, are you single? I mean, a friend is asking.
Make me a persuasion check.
A friend is asking.
For Bonnie. Jeez.
Shadow Claw's
Okay.
like not interested in Bonnie. She's too young. He needs this like ancient woman.
15. Oh, come on.
She laughs and she goes, "I am a widower. Yes, I am single at this time, I suppose you could say."
How long have you been with
Gabriel is
Widow
just
for?
standing there,
Again, I'm sorry. For,
drinking her wine.
I'm
dying
reaching
inside.
under the table, trying to give him a kick, even though it's probably a massive table.
Your like leg just can't find purchase. You're just like moving
Yeah.
it towards.
Flailing under there.
I'll say I'm sorry to hear. I wasn't aware.
Where's the
how-
spell through movement?
My late
How long
husband
have-
was the. Well, we still can have conversations, and she gives a little nod to the black staff propped up to Vajra's chair. He passed away just over 100 years ago. He was a good age.
Wait, 100 years ago?
Yes.
Do you mind me asking? I'm sorry, I don't want to be intrusive. However, how old are you?
Make me a persuasion check.
I'm going to spill my drink rather dramatically at this to make any kind of distraction.
Can
Yeah.
I use Mage Hand to punch someone in the balls? Is that allowed?
You can use Mage Hand to
Fucking 15 again.
15 again. Yeah, the drink gets spilled. The servant is like mopping it up. She will laugh, and she goes like, "It has been some time since I met someone so brazen. I will let you do the maths. I was born in the year 765.
Okay. What's the year now?
It's currently 1492.
So did you say 700? Oh, what was the number? Sorry, 700 what?
765.
So is it like 700 years old?
Yeah, near enough.
Wow. I have to say,
Don't,
Lady,
please,
you-
please don't. You do not have to say.
You don't have to say anything.
you were
anything at all.
looking, you were looking incredible for. I'm sorry to say for you.
All right.
I would
Okay.
not have guessed.
It is a blessing of my a deity who holds me in high regard.
Oh. Very interesting.
And I'm sure that high regard has been earned, very well earned, given how benevolent you are to the city.
And to our colleague here.
It is indeed such a shame for a beautiful lady like you, like yourself, being
Right.
alone for 100 years.
We should get him out of here.
I mean,
If it's any defense, he's not from here.
Wait, do you have the silence spell?
I am just being
It's
nice
quite
to the lady
wide
over here.
cast, okay? I can't just shut up a single person.
I am just
I
being
wish.
nice to our new friend over here.
Catch me within
You
two.
know-
It's worth it. I'll be in silence. I'll hear my own heartbeat again. It's fine. Do it, please.
How old are you then?
Me?
No,
Too old for his
How old do I look to you? I kind of like with my glass of wine, like this leans over.
Alright,
To
I think after
me,
700
my-
years, you start to question how old
Yeah.
people are. You can't fucking tell. It's like,
to me, dear, that is quite a difficult question. But your mind, to me, seems like that of a child. I mean that not in a matter of offense, but just in what I have seen and experienced in my life makes it very difficult for me to judge what someone else's experiences are. I understand mine is not natural.
Okay.
you can mean it in a
Well-
matter of offense. We'd all
Yeah,
support
it's-
that.
It's about right.
I'm gonna say I'm about mid-30s. In this body. However, oh no, actually, fuck. Sorry. Well, in this body, I'm 30. Let's just say as that.
Curious. I'm sure I will learn of all of your abilities and oddities as time continues on. I know of some of yours already.
Oh.
Very interesting.
So I've found.
Perhaps
That's about
if on any day you do feel the need of talking to someone, having a nice conversation over a glass of wine, please feel free to send one of those little birds.
Yes, if you want to break bread with a child, he's available.
Indeed. If I wish to do any charity work, I certainly will bear it in mind.
If you want to do some babysitting,
It's been a while
I
since I've
mean-
done that.
wait, this actually could have some potential. Wait a
Well,
minute.
we could definitely fix that. Okay, anyway, it was very nice kebab over here we're having. What was it made of? What is it called again? Kebab? What is this? I've never had this before. It's actually rather nice.
It's quite an old Moldavian dish. It fell out of fashion a few years ago, but it's one of my favorites.
Tastes delicious.
It's rather greasy. It's delicious. Especially with all this garlic
it's very-
sauce.
Yes, I was about to say the garlic is very pungent, but yet it has to be. Otherwise, it doesn't have any flavor.
I think
I feel like I could eat
more
more.
garlic sauce, honestly.
I could eat more kebab just to have more sauce. It's delicious.
Right.
I
Yes,
would say
sometimes
that
even
your
just the
chef
bread and sauce is enough.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
this-
I would say, you know, that we'd have to ask your chef for the recipe, but given that we're in the hospitality business, it would be, I suppose, a little inappropriate to steal all your best ideas.
I mean, just getting this little bread soaked in fat and oil is delicious. Look at
If you would like, I'm sure I can speak to whatever chef is on and have them write the recipe down for you. I'm not in the business of selling the food here. It is to be enjoyed by my
No,
guests.
Goodness, of course.
I would not consider giving it out to me fueling competition by any means.
because I've never seen anything like this in Waterdeep. It's the first time I'm having, and I think this would be a quite a hit in our little town.
Yes, maybe we could give it the Open Lord seal of approval, a great marketing stunt.
Yes. Okay, and I shall name it after you, lady. The Silver Hand Kebab.
I think normally after a kebab you need more a saucy hand. It's normally the
The saucy
Lyral
hand
sausage.
might actually sell better with our crowd.
Yeah.
He'd get distracted with the saucy hand. Let's not. Although, you know, after a few Zinfandels, it's, you know, becoming more appealing. It's
I know,
bizarre.
right?
But you could even kind of make them and have a delivery service, you know, guaranteed within 2 hours, but at least an hour. Because, you know, that way it's just cooled down enough to not murder people with the heat. You know, maybe.
Yeah, but maybe we'd call it like something like Dash Door.
This is not a bad idea, Logan, actually, because I don't think that's something that they do in Waterdeep. We should definitely start looking to
Maybe
do
we should just
delivery.
quit this great game and start a kebab business.
Or maybe
Why
just
is it
do
in
like
every fucking D&D game I run, my players try to start a business? Like, every
Also,
fucking one.
Start a business that already exists in
It's
the real world.
fantasy of running a business. That's what everyone wants. No one wants to fight monsters or fucking be a
Look,
wizard.
Look,
All
the
we want
real
is
fantasies of
financial
D&D is
Owning
having
something.
some level of financial security and getting to hang out with your friends more often.
Wait, what do you mean make a business? You gave us a business, like
Yeah,
session
it's
free.
literally the plot.
True.
We don't have one in the other campaign yet.
Oh, yeah.
Give it time.
You'll fix that. All right.
Give it
Can we
time.
do a crossover sometime?
Oh, you do have it. Yeah. The little. special.
In our last
appearances.
campaign, we basically just ended up with spoons, so you know.
Literally, they just made Weber spoons.
We just kept
Ew.
buying up different pubs.
Old banks that have shut down.
One of our
toilets 3/4 of a mile away.
one of our players had like a master spreadsheet of all of them, so he could track our money.
Oh wow.
I remember Hannah telling me about this.
Yeah.
It's a different level of nerdy, that, innit?
Yeah, it's so good.
Insane. He had like a full-on like chartering company and shit. Like by the end, it was just like, how are we gonna get the money? And Will's just like, we have.
It was literally like, yeah, we want to buy like 50,000 mercenaries. Like, how can you afford that? It's like, well, we've made all this money. Ding, 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 ding. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
They're full of weekly P&L and everything.
Yeah.
This is the whole, like, oh, you can take out Tarask with, 100 Arakocra archers.
Yeah.
Archer mercenaries, it's fine. Oh, dear.
Alright.
Cool. Logan is actually gonna, if you would excuse me, I would love to go speak to your chef. I've taken a little interest in the culinary life myself. Would you mind if I visited your kitchen while you finish up here?
Not at all. Unless anything else, I do have a business to attend to that does require my presence. So if you are quite happy, I will leave you to enjoy the rest of your wine. Take your time. We don't need the whole back anyway in the evening, so the carriage will be ready to take you home whenever you are ready to go.
Thank you for your time.
You're most welcome. And she will rise, give you a little nod. She'll gesture to one of the assistants and say, "Please escort Lord Margaster to the kitchen so he may speak to our head chef." "Yes, ma'am, of course." And she slips out the door.
Yep.
Logan, you're
Follow.
kind of brought through a little side door, which the food all came out of from earlier. And as soon as you step through, you find yourself, you're definitely in the area to help. There is, dishes being washed. You can hear, pans, clanging together. It looks like they are cleaning down. It looks like their job for the evening has been finished. And there's one individual with a large, quite tall chef's hat on, white apron, sleeves kind of rolled up to his elbows, like a human man, and kind of as you kind of are led over, the gentleman kind of leading over towards him leads you right past him. There is a small halfling woman, hair tied back in a tight bun. She wears just normal clothes, like scruffy sauce kind of splattered all over herself. And you kind of hear the man just cough a few times. Excuse me, chef. Lord Margaster would like to meet you. He has expressed some desire to discuss the culinary arts with you. And she goes, "Ah, all right then. Fair enough, Lord. How's it going? Welcome to my kitchen. That would make me the lady of the kitchen. You may address me as such."
Absolutely. Lady of the kitchen.
That's
As
me.
you wish. It's a pleasure to meet you. We've just had the most wonderful meal, a kebab, shared in the Great Hall, and it was truly delicious. The garlic sauce, the way that it was brought in buckets, inspired. Truly.
Yeah. We make it in a bath. The only way.
A bath that's specifically for.
Oh yeah,
garlic
no
sauce?
one bathes in the bath, but a large metal container, a big vessel.
Okay, well, that makes more sense. Slightly reassuring as well, rather than an actual bath. But
I mean, if you'd like to bathe in it, I'm sure we could make you enough. If that's something you'd like to endure.
I
Offering.
may consider that. It's my birthday coming up in a few 10 days time, and something different. I always said, every 10 years every few years do something a bit different. That would qualify.
If we ever do another Strahd campaign, I know what I'm planning.
Yeah, we'll take a lot of eggs, but I mean, we could definitely do it for you if you need.
Eggs.
Oh yes, the sauce is like a mayonnaise base with garlic just pounded through it.
There's a thought. No, okay. No, I was one of the reasons I was wanting to come and speak with you is, I and my fellow companions out there, we run a tavern in the North Ward,
Ah, do ya?
and you've probably not heard of it. It's the old familiar.
I can't say I spent much time in the North Ward. Was there a while back, but I didn't really get a chance to pop in anywhere apart from a few shops. I'll keep my eye out for it though. If I'm up there in the future, I'll pop my head in.
Absolutely, no, we'll certainly treat you to a drink. It's the least we can do after that wonderful food.
Definitely come in.
Our kitchen staff are one. You know how you can have weird but competent people, and you keep them around because they're competent despite them being weird. They are certainly weird.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering, presumably with your expertise in the kitchen, you need to find a way to get good people around you at a reasonable budgetary cost. Would you be able to offer any insight to a newer proprietor such as myself as to how to find these people without as much weirdness, or at least with a bit of competency?
What I find is you need to be brutal. Normally you can tell in the first 5 minutes whether it's a match or not. So whatever you go for, when you get them with you, you know, at the end of the day, you need to know if they're going to gel with your team or not. You know, and you need to have a good base from there, and then from there you can kind of build, you know, or you know, make it bigger or smaller as you kind of see fit, or as the business needs. I would say
get a bit of paper out, just making a couple of notes.
Best thing to do: go around, go to places, eat. If you like the food, find out who the chef is. Then, don't bother the head chef because they're bollocks. Because they'll be set in their ways and they'll want to stay and do their thing. Find someone who's trained to them for a few years. Convince them, you know, to try something new or experiment and all this kind of thing. And then you get them with their experience. You can see if they can gel well with your team. If they do, you can take things from that kitchen. And you know, we beg, we borrow, we steal, we poach. You know, that's what we do. You know, I put together this team here by going to all the finest restaurants in Waterdeep. And then I went in the kitchen and I said, hey, you want to come work and serve food for the lords and ladies of Waterdeep? And they said, not really. And I said, what if I paid you a big fucking pile of gold? And they said, fuck yeah. And then they were in. But you know, you can do it. I used to do it when I was smaller as well. I used to run my own place. You just need to make them an offer that's better than the one they're currently in. And fuck, sometimes people are just fed up and want something new anyway, so it's easily done.
Okay, so find like scummy little places that do fairly decent food and just kind of adjust my boundaries appropriately to the budget.
Exactly. And you know, at the end of the day, like, what you'll find is if you put up a public ad saying looking for chefs, you're gonna get drunks, crazy fuckers, cunts, you know, all the pot of madness that comes with that employee.
Yes,
and they all come piling down.
Yes, we have a lizard folk who creates things that perhaps even lizard folk may turn their noses, snouts up at. And we have another one who is so far into his own rectum with his head that you almost can't see his face. It is... Anyway, we put out the advert. We got some freaks. We got some real losers. But you know, they're all right to stick around. I suppose it'd be a bit inappropriate to steal any of your staff, especially as I can't pay them very well.
I think you would struggle to make an offer that they would jump at based on what they're on at the minute. But you never know. And I couldn't say that I wouldn't admire it. You know, that's a tactic I hold well. Maybe they'll come steal your arsehole from you. You know.
Excuse me?
You know, you're the one who was lost in his own arsehole, him.
Oh, yes, him. Sorry, I thought it was a proposition. It's fine. Anyway, thank you. You've been ever so kind. I appreciate being shown around. That's the bath over there, is it?
Oh yeah, that's it there. And you see this like a guy with a big like churning it up.
You know, it's some commitment. Even though everybody else is cleaning up, he's still going on that.
Oh, well, we know we need that for tomorrow, so that's prep for the next day. We do a tub a day. We go through.
A tub a day.
Aye.
Wonderful. We might need to repurpose one of our bathrooms in the tavern.
Oh, just get a clean one new, and if you got space in the kitchen, it's just like a giant pot. But
yeah, that's also an option. It's cheaper just to. Anyway, it's fine. Thank you very much for your time. I will make my leave now.
Certainly, my
Later.
lord. Bows your head.
And he'll sort of fold up the note that he's made and head out. And was there the person who kind of brought us in? Were they like kind of head butler sort of caliber?
You don't know if they were head butler, but they were definitely kind of like your attendant, or they're not leaving you alone. They've been like a semi-assigned to you to make sure that you aren't like, if you're like, oh, where's the bathroom?
Stealing
It's like,
shit.
I will find, and they will summon someone to take you to the bathroom, but they normally stay with the main bulk of your group at any one time. They're maybe a little bit like they're, keeping an eye on you, but more that they're there for your help and like, assistance were required. They're more for your benefit than anything else.
Super. I would like to pass them the note that I've written.
Okay.
And ask it to be delivered to Lady Silverhand
Sure. Yep, they take it.
in confidence.
Gives like a confident nod. It's like, is it required to be sent urgently?
Oh no, not at all. Just make sure it gets unmolested.
I will ensure that not even I look at it. They fold it, put it in their inside breast pocket, and they give a little small nod and go, I will deliver it once you've all finished up here and gone home.
I'll send you a message with what it says.
Yep. And then you have the confidence that your handler to some level will deliver it personally to avoid any possible molestation.
Wonderful. We don't want any molestation. And and then I'll head back to the group with whoever's been kind of guiding me, whether it's them or they're just the attendant.
Yeah, it would have been like one of the like a little assistant kind of like would have come as well, but you would have gone to me and want to give that over. But yeah, would anyone like to do anything else before you go? Any questions or anything like that? Like Vajra is still present.
I think Gabriel would chat with Vajra. Vajra, as I talked with the open hand about the homes in the contained by the Order of the Watchful Mages, would you be able to grant me passage to those archives, perhaps? For research purposes.
I could certainly give it a go.
I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Shouldn't be too much trouble. It's a shame. I was hoping I had invited Harshnag to meet you all, but he's a bit busy.
Oh, who might that be?
He is one of the original members of Forcegrave, one of the survivors from the whenever they were previously disbanded. He came back whenever they reformed. Lovely fella.
Well, I'm sure we'll meet him in the future.
I'd imagine so. He's really, you can't miss him.
When was the Forest Grave reformed? And why did they disband in the past?
Well, because they got
Were you here?
It was conversation
mentioned.
topic.
A barely
wild
big...
magic. Everybody died.
Yeah.
It was about 100 years ago.
About 100 years ago, yeah, there was a big like cataclysmic event, and a lot of them died.
And
then,
she's also been a widower for 100 years, so
Yeah.
figure that one out. The Lady Silverhand's former partner, I suppose, was originally the Blackstaff. He, yes, I suppose he perished, I assume. The timing seems about right.
I mean,
I think that's what you said in it,
Logan,
Hannah.
know that the Blackstaff... You've heard the Blackstaff speak to you before. Whenever Bosco had his dilemma back in the Blackstaff Tower.
Oh yes.
So you may have heard the
Absolutely.
voice of her partner,
Mhm.
potentially.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I probably wouldn't share anything about that.
But if you could contact me, maybe by one of these paper birds or a sending spell about or as soon as you have the time about the availability of the archives, I would appreciate that.
Indeed, I'll get
I
you
would like-
clearance whenever able, and I will
Thank you.
let you know we need to go.
Yes, I would like to just get this settled sooner rather than later.
Wonderful.
I-
Right. Well, I had a lovely chat with the chef. Picked up some tips because, well, put it this way, we might be getting a bath in the kitchen for the garlic sauce. Something about garlic pounding eggs. I didn't really catch it all, but if we get a good chef, it'll be fine.
Alright, I'll trust the chef to get a bath. Alright, yeah, sure. Not the weirdest thing I heard.
Man, I guess he adds to the garlic flavor. I suppose.
Yeah, yes, the garlic adds to the garlic flavor.
I mean, what are you gonna do with the bath? Are you gonna bath in it?
No, that's what they make the sauce in. Which is honestly, which would be almost enough.
I understand. I'm just winding you up, Logan. It's okay.
Honestly, I'm not convinced that I knew that you knew what a bath was. Seemed an alien concept. It's fine. Anyway, it's fine. Listen, we should probably take our leave.
Yeah, you guys eventually step out. The carriage awaits for you, as it was. It's been brought back around, and now it's facing the direction to take you back down the sneaking, winding path that would lead you back to the main city from the hill the castle sits upon. And eventually you find yourselves traveling back up towards, unless you tell the driver to go elsewhere, they will return you to the old familiar.
Yes.
Yeah, happy to get back.
Gabriel, what time would it be?
Right now, you've probably been there a couple of hours. I'd say it's coming up on like 9 o'clock. You had a lot of drinks, you had a lot of food. It was like a long ongoing affair, and there was also more small talk discussion as well around like, you know, so how are you finding Waterdeep and all this kind of thing. It was very much like a good, at least, you know, sort of couple of hours spent.
So, do we want to talk demons now, tomorrow?
Tomorrow. I'll go visit my family, and perhaps you can do your reading thing, and then we can talk.
Reading, perhaps. Yes, I might think of trying something.
Oh.
Yeah, so, yeah, it'll be fun.
Trying what? What's your idea?
Doing some research.
Into. Go on.
Well,
you can tell me.
Well, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? Into, you know, what we are into the castle enter endeavor.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I was saying. Like doing the reading.
Yeah, of course, reading.
Okay. So I'll talk to Mama. I won't get anything out of
Yes.
Mama.
I look at Svele as like, Svele, is there a possibility you could somehow manage to speak to your family? Or maybe get some information in this regard?
Don't worry,
I
I plan
understand it'd be
to
very
speak
difficult
to
for
my
you, but
family member who I believe is involved in such acts very quickly.
Yes,
okay,
indeed.
sounds good to me.
Are we still open at this time?
I mean, it's 9 p.m. Surely there's a tavern in it, so it should be open.
Yeah.
If we're not, we're a shit tavern.
I mean, we could still be a shit tavern.
Yeah.
Look at that. Are we even open? Like,
We look around, it's just dead. It's like, we might be closed, I don't know.
We might
why did you close the tavern early? Why?
you just leave invisible.
There was no one here, boss. There was no one in here.
Alright.
Make it busy.
Hell.
Okay. Well, I'm going to perhaps get an. No, I'm gonna have some more wine. Who's joining me?
In a tavern or what? Like here or?
I'll join you, Logan.
Or I think I'll stay.
Yeah, no, staying here.
No, I think I had enough wine.
How about a
Come
beer?
on, Gabriella, you can never have enough wine.
I think I woke up like a few hours back when I went drinking with Logan in a Is surrounded by sentient mushrooms. I think I'll lay it off a bit.
Just one more glass, come on.
No, thank you.
Join us.
No is a full sentence, Shadowclaw. Learn that.
You two should
we
probably
can-
be careful too. I mean, one of you did die recently, and the other one got fairly close. Or
Listen, if I'm going
Is-
to have to deal with this throbbing headache, then the least I can do is have a hangover to make it worth it, right?
is
No.
Shadowclaw? Sorry, I don't fully understand what's going. So is Sullivan dead, or
Because he seems to have an influence on you still.
Doesn't he,
Sullivan is still. Well, his spirit is inside of me.
We can see that.
Sorry, what? Sounds a bit gay. I like it.
gay?
Gay!
Look,
So Sullivan is inside you. What is he like?
Not-
Keeping warm, like a hibernation thing? What's going on?
Because there is
well-
a hand scurrying around here, which would suggest that at least some of him is dead.
Why did we have to like keep the worst bit around? Like the hand.
I know the hand
of all
smells a little bit, but that's still part of Sullivan.
I don't know, but
there's the only moving part that.
watch this.
Sullivan
It's a
has
fun
got-
trick. And Azvele will toss a gold coin onto the floor of the
The
tavern.
hand just-
Yeah.
Then it just jumps out of my bag. Picks out a coin, comes back to my bag.
It picks up the coin, but has to like hold it in like 2 fingers, like in the air, and it runs on
Yeah.
its little like fingies.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Little jump and it goes in.
Yeah, that's my Sullivan. Look at him go. Okay, it is weird though, Svele, because now you mention it, the whole line of questioning with Lady Silverhand and the, you know, are you single? How old are you? That's classic Sally.
that was fair. And what did Bonnie think? Are you still with Bonnie?
I don't
Oh,
think they were
let's
ever
say-
together. I mean, I've seen Bonnie with other people since, so I don't think it was an exclusive thing.
Well, let's say me and Sullivan do have some things in common, and we're very fond of beautiful ladies.
Of
Like
course,
when
the
it-
one
it's-
body part that stayed
It's
the
like
same.
Venn diagrams. Alright, gotcha.
So, yeah.
Siamese twins conjoined at the dick.
hey, it's me, your boy, Shadow Penis.
It's me, your penis, your favorite penis.
It's me, you penis.
little penis with a Z at the end, just to make it cool.
Leaf, I'm gonna need something stronger than wine.
I think this conversation is taking a toll on my spirit, so I'm gonna head upstairs.
The spectral barkeep will slide over a bottle of the strong stuff. Basically absinthe.
It's actually called strong stuff.
Yeah.
That's
It's
what
a
it is.
giant, like a giant kin alcohol.
No one
Spelled
knows
like
what that is.
STRU, like N, and then like STOF. Strong stuff.
I'm probably gonna take a sniff of the bottle, realize it right, pour a big glass of it for myself, give the bottle back to Liv, who I hope is ready to grab it because he's letting go of it. And then he's going to look around for anybody who looks kind of physically competent in there, whether it's staff or customers. Just maybe a couple of people who would definitely be able to lift Logan with all of his armor up some stairs.
Yeah, there's a couple of dwarves at a table who are like sat like just having a few glasses of stout. Who look pretty they look pretty laborers heavy, you think?
He's going to walk over to him and be like, here's 5 gold each.
Oh, thank you very much.
If I pass out when I drink this,
Hey.
I just need you to get me to the room that's straight up there. And he'll point to his own room.
They kind of like look at each other and go like, we can do that, yeah, for 5 gold, 100%. Yeah, do you want to? We will. Yeah,
He, knock-
easy,
he's
easy.
already, he knocks back the absinthe
Maybe chuck it back. Con save. The strong
with a
stuff.
-1, -2 still.
-2 at the minute, I think. Yeah, actually, your 2-day hiatus.
It's a
Yeah.
2.
It's the strong stuff.
Strong stuff.
'Cause- 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 'cause-
Yeah, he just goes straight back.
Yeah.
Just stiffens up. Gone.
Yep, and as he falls and hits the ground, the dwarves turn back to each other. Kind of like one of them like leans over, kicks him a few times in the leg. Goes like, "He's out cold. Yeah, we'll take him up in a bit. No rush." And they finish their drinks, and then you would all watch as 3 dwarves heft Logan up, and they carry him upstairs towards his room.
And that'd be me for the night.
Yep, so Logan goes to bed. To help some strangers. Anyone else do anything in particular?
Gabriella heads to her room.
Esvele is following closely.
Yeah, I thought so.
I'll have a few drinks with Logan.
Logan is like unconscious, but yeah, you're like
Oh,
you can
I'll
have
just
drinks in his room if you want.
Like, yeah.
You
I'll
just
get drunk
sit
as well,
next to his unconscious body on the ground and start
Yeah,
drinking.
the dwarves are still drinking for a bit before they take him upstairs. So yeah, you can just sit next to the
I get a
unconscious
drink,
Logan.
get drunk, and I keep talking to. Logan's unconscious, like.
One of the dwarves is like
You and Logan on the ground.
one of the dwarves is like says to like use shadow claws, like, you know, if you'd like, you know, for 5 gold each, we can carry you to your room as well.
Nah, I think you can make my own.
Okay, don't say we didn't warn you.
Well, I'm gonna go. I tap Logan in the back. Good night there, mate. Bam, bam, bam. Tap in the back and I'm stumble upstairs.
Yeah, you do indeed. Yeah, you retire. Esvele and Gabriella, you find yourselves in
Gabriella
Gabriella's
takes a
room.
seat on her bed. Well, a mysterious Rosna, that must be quite a conundrum.
What are you planning?
I'm not anything yet, but I presume you have questions.
Yes, but I'm just yelling at you than questions, so I'll let you tell your story first.
Alright. I'm not sure, did Mother and Father tell you about, like, the, context of my disappearance? Like, back when we were younger?
I was told you tried to murder somebody. That's about it.
Yes, that was what I was told too at the trial. No, you know how Mother had her power ambitious plans and stuff like that, fun stuff? Yeah, I kind of overheard some of it and tried to intrude on it, and she didn't like that, so she took care of me. So I spent quite a lot of time in the dungeons of Waterdeep Prison. For something I didn't do, just, solitary confinement, years, stuff like that. And while I was whiling away my days for presumably the rest of my years, I was approached by a mysterious person. An offer was given to me to have me leave for an occasional favor that has yet to be called. And under normal circumstances, I'm not really one to take such bargains, but I guess years in the dark do things to your judgment. So that's why I'm here. That's why I have my powers. She just sparks a bit of magic. And she takes her glove, like the gauntlet and her glove, and she shows her, can as well read Infernal.
I was wondering where you got that.
Yes, that's the symbol of my deal, let's say. So yes, that is my story. And if it wasn't for that bargain, I wouldn't be here. But if it calms you, I try to use my powers for good. I would dare to say I've been more or less successful in most of those endeavors so far. Even joined the church partially, so I wonder when they're gonna find out. That's gonna be a shit show. But yes, feel free to yell at me if it helps you alleviate any emotional tension. I fully understand, just, yeah. And Gabriel just
Well, I'm
leans
not
back.
saying it was a good idea, but
It wasn't.
I assume you're aware of that.
Yes. Also,
Nope.
Up with this computer.
Discord, shut itself a little bit there.
Can everyone still hear me?
We can still hear you.
Yeah.
I'll be
Yep.
back in a sec. Everything is dead.
Gabriella contemplates her life choices.
Gabriella's confident in her life choices.
I'm also contemplating my life choices on this fucking computer.
Alright. Be good. 4 minutes, so woo.
Oh yeah, before you get cut off.
Yeah, it shouldn't be precise, hopefully, but it could happen earlier as well, so we'll see.
Anyways, might be a good time to call it.
And I'll just finish up this dialogue and we can hopefully finish up this dialogue.
Oh. Anna the shapeshifter.
Look, we've had to switch around because I can hear myself. Can I? I don't know. No, it's because it's like immediately. Anyway, we had to switch around because my internet's shitting itself, despite the fact we have the same internet.
Have you not pointed it towards the door again?
I have, and I don't know. I swear it only plays up for D&D. But we can continue our conversation now. I have become a dungeon master. Oh, there he is!
Roll her.
I fixed it.
How did you fix it?
I turned your antennas on.
Off?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Continue. It's fine. I'll be as.
No, I'll switch back.
Oh, you want to come back now? Okay. Magic.
I don't like how high def that camera is. I feel like you can see all my flaws.
They can see your soul. I
Exactly.
bear it.
Look how shiny your forehead is. Nobody needs to know how shiny my forehead is.
Eyes are so shiny, you know. I moisturize.
Anyway. Yes, I'm not going to say it was a good idea, but given the circumstances, I don't think I really have much right to question it. Do you know what it is that you made the deal with? I mean, are we talking...
No idea. It can bring people back from the dead
Okay.
at a price, so I'm presuming some kind of devil.
Well,
And I
devils are more
it is
firm
ice-
on their rules and contracts, at least, although that might make
It's-
it even harder to get out of.
It's ice affiliated. It likes ice.
Okay.
So, but I'm planning on trying to tap into this and see if it can tell me anything. So I'm gonna go to those archives, do some research, some book reading, and see if I can find any fun rituals. And see if we can communicate something out. Because who better to ask about a devil than a devil? And if it goes awry, I'm sure that all of you are capable enough to take care of me. One way or another.
I'm sure it won't come to that.
Well, I hope so. We're quite getting used to living free.
I should have come and got you. That
Oh,
prison.
you didn't know. And I'm quite sure that it would be even past your own capabilities. No offense, but
I should have known. I just...
It's fine.
I don't know.
I'm
I
just
guess I
glad
just
that-
assumed that another family member turning out to be a bastard wasn't really a big surprise.
I mean, to be fair, we have a track record like that. Let's be honest. So, well, the only two good rolls in us. Not sure about our brother. Haven't seen him in a bit.
We can go 3 for 3. We might be able to change the fate of the world.
Hopefully, I'm sure it's foretold somewhere in the holy texts. But
Your friends
I'm just
know?
glad.
Your friends know about the devil.
I think Logan knows. I'm not sure if he remembers, but I told him, and I'm gonna tell Shadowclaw because there is no way around this. But otherwise, no, I'm not fond of gonna telling the Church of Tyr for reasons. But yeah.
Maybe, you know, solve the great game and gain some renown before you start spreading it around.
Mayhaps, indeed. I'm
Even
just
better,
happy.
get yourself out of the deal once you've done it.
Oh, Lord. Either way, I'm just happy that we are together and that things for once are turning out rather well.
Don't say that. The second you say that, it's all gonna go to shit again.
And tomorrow I'm gonna die. Anyhow, I'm gonna go get some rest and see what we can do tomorrow. But yeah. Thanks for hearing me out and thanks for being here.
Wow. At least we have someone who knows how to deal in devils.
Well, no is a very far concept.
Oh.
And there it is. With
You
Casper's
made it past
internet being cut off as the internet provider shit all over him. That's going to stop for today. We'll pick up this heartfelt conversation next time. Bye bye.